here in the building. But after going through a lot of the contact tracing, we're going to keep several coaches out of practice today, including myself and Corey Unlin. We're all included in that, and a few other assistant coaches. I think there's still a lot of information and dialogue going on between the league right now and the team. So we're still working through that and sifting through all that information. I know you guys will be, concerned about, the coaches and what everyone's going to be doing at different times and different during the game, that kind of thing. But right now, we're just really focused on today, getting through the end of this day and making sure we have a good practice today. I can tell you, as far as the coaching staff goes, everybody is still involved because of the great Zoom that we have. So able to prepare the players like we normally would all throughout the day. Myself and the other coaches that won't be at practice will be in there watching it on Zoom live. So we'll be able to make corrections when we need to after practice as well. By the end of the week, we'll give you all the information that we need to in terms of the contingency plans that we have for guys in specific roles. Obviously, it's a time where, we really do need to adjust. And, we've shown the ability to do that before. And this time, this thing is going to be no different. We got great coaches on the staff, great support staff, and, everyone's kind of rallying together to be able to help out in this time and, fitting in where they can. Really just for me, kind of on a personal note, obviously I'm super frustrated just with all the things that are going on. It's kind of hard times, but I don't think it's any different than anybody that's going through in the world right now. Frustrated for, yesterday was my 28th wedding anniversary. I'm stuck in a hotel, can't be with my wife, can't spend time, so it affects us in a real way. Also, is super concerned for the people that have had positive tests. I think we got to remember, I know that all this football is going on and we see it say a positive test and just like, oh, how does that affect the football? But, they have families to go home to, they have, wives, kids, parents, people that this could truly affect. So that's kind of where my mind goes to and my concern for those guys. There's people that are making bigger sacrifices as well. We got hospital workers, frontline workers, and we're blessed to still be able to play football. But it's kind of frustrating at this time. But so with that, I guess I'll open it up for questions.
Mike?
Yeah, hey, Darrell. The first question, I know you said that you all are figuring out contingency plans, but obviously you being the head coach, who takes over for you? Who handles your responsibilities during practice? And then I'm imagining already at this point you've talked about if there's a game situation, who would handle your responsibilities during the game?
Right. So, so obviously from the start of the season, even back with Coach Patricia and the staff, obviously this was something that we had to plan for. So there are contingency plans, and each and every time something happens, we're making adjustments to that. I still think, Mike, we're gathering more information, and before we want to make all those statements, we need to see exactly what's going to happen for the day. So, but by the end of the week, before the game, we'll make sure that we have all that information.
And there's reports out there that one assistant was not having his tracker on him the whole time. Another assistant had an in-person meeting. Are those things both accurate? And if so, what have you done to discipline those coaches?
We're not going to get into specifics of all this thing. It does go back to the contact tracing. When you end up having a positive test, what happened to us is, it was probably the perfect storm in terms of when you have an away game and you have somebody test positive on Monday, they go back 48 hours. And so, in a travel situation, you have the plane, you have the hotel, you have the buses, you have the smaller locker rooms at away places. So there's a lot of things to sift through and a lot of information on that. So we're still working through all that.
So that kind of answered the question, but not really. Are those two things accurate though, where there was a coach that didn't have his tracker on him, and also that there was an in-person meeting when that shouldn't have occurred?
Yeah, I'm not going to confirm or deny that.
I'm just going to ask this honestly. Obviously, everything that happened on Monday with Braden, you were very forthright about that. This would seem something that's a maybe health and safety thing. Why be less forthcoming with this?
Well, I'm not trying to be evasive or not forthcoming. I want to make sure that that's something I'm doing. But like I said, we're just still trying to gather all the information. And right. I mean, I'm super concerned about our health and safety of all our players, and particularly their families at this time. I mean, holiday season, more people are going to be here. But I just don't want to make any statements before we have all the facts and all the things that need to come out from that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Dave.
Hey Bev, sorry I'm not on video here on my way down to practice. But can you just explain, even if you don't want to get into names, just how this happened? I mean, I don't know that anyone's to blame in a pandemic, but have you isolated like where it started, how it spread, or how how it spread? I guess.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, I can confirm that we have one player and one coach because we talked about that. But I mean, Dave, I don't know if there's any way to be able to tell, exactly how a person gets this thing. I mean, as you say, we're operating in a pandemic, and just super frustrated. Not speaking of these two, but some of the other people that have had it before, they can't even pinpoint where they got it. My only stop was going to get a cup of coffee. My only stop was to go get at the gas station, and I would say that we've done a really nice job in terms of the team and and all the people around us trying to make sure that we do the right thing and make the correct decisions. But there's so much going on around us as well, and I mean, sometimes this just happens, and I don't think we'll be able to ever pinpoint how the one person or the two people got the COVID.
Are you okay? First of all, are you healthy? Do you have COVID? I guess I should ask that.
I do not.
Okay, good. Good to hear. Second, I guess just by what you said earlier, I assume then there's still a possibility that you will be able to coach Saturday. Is that accurate? I mean, and when do you expect to find out whether you will be allowed to be on the sideline or be with the team?
Yeah. So if I'm correct, today is Wednesday. So tomorrow's today's Wednesday. It's a Thursday. Tomorrow's a Friday. So in our world, right? So we have to be able to have all that information by tomorrow so we can give it to you guys as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Kyle. Excuse me. If Sean Ryan has to call plays, how comfortable are you with that?
Well, like I said, Kyle, we're still working through all that. But, I really have a great offensive staff. I get to work with, I can speak with so much confidence in terms of the guys that I have. I know what they do well. I know, how they perform for me. So I know exactly the moves that we need to make in those situations and have total confidence in those guys in the roles that I'll give them.
And I guess just lastly, I was wondering if you could speak to the personal challenge of everything going on. I know you mentioned the wedding anniversary and that kind of thing, but with everything going on with injuries on both sides of the ball, staffing changed this week. Now this happening, I mean, just what's that been like for you as an interim head coach who's, doing all this for the first time?
Well, I can say, I guess I'm getting a baptism by fire. In a very short time, I'm getting about all the situations that I could possibly get put in. So it's given me a great experience. And, it's given me opportunity to, learn about all the people around me and the great support staff that I do have and, where I can go for support and help to be able to make sure that I'm navigating this the way that will be in the best interest for the team.
Thank you.
All right, last one, Justin.
Hey, Bev, I apologize if these are getting a little circular, but we know players are not in the building on Monday and they weren't in the building on Tuesday. Were any of the coaches, yourself included, at the facility on Monday? Just not sure I understand how that works in the current circumstances.
Yeah, so as far as we're the coaches, they do not have to be in. Some guys do prefer to go in, some guys do not. So not all the coaches are in. And then they're allowed to work in their office and get their things done, but they do not have to be there, and all of them were not there.
And how many coaches are actually going to be at practice today? I mean, is it going to be a skeleton crew, or like 3 guys, or how many do you know that are going to be working there today?
That's a good question, Justin. I wish I should have counted them up, but we will have enough. We will have enough for each and every position to have somebody that's that's there in person to take care of the situations that they need to.
And can you just explain a little bit more about how practice is going to run today? I know you said you're going to kind of be live zoomed in and for
Yep.
corrections, but obviously making these kind of changes on the fly seems somewhat difficult. So I guess who helped you organize the setup and how things are going to run today?
Yeah, so so we obviously when I took over, we ended up having a little bit different practice structure, and so the practice is already it's already laid out. We know exactly how many reps. We know the periods that we're doing, so it'll run. If you were at practice, you probably wouldn't notice a difference because it'll run smoothly. We have a certain number of plays that we'll run. Then we blow a horn, we switch, and basically I kind of take care of the whistle. Of the kind of ending the play. So I signed one guy to make sure we end and begin, the plays that we need to. And then the rest of it's just going to run as normal because the coaches that we had that will be there have already been at practice working with those positions. And so it'll be seamless that they'll just be, working the same way that they have been.
And all these coaches that are quarantined are going to be quarantined during Christmas, are they not?
Yeah, we were all, at various stages, like, if we need to be completely away or not, yes. Obviously the guys will make their own decisions, but yes, it's over that time.
And you can't comment currently on which coaches are specifically out today?
I cannot.
Thanks, Bev. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks, Coach. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great one.